Hi, my name is Ashley Stanzak, and I'm the Sales Associate for the West Coast region. Can I get a quick show of hands how many people have heard of Crackle before? Okay, so great number of hands. For those of you who are not familiar with Crackle, we'll definitely be doing a deep dive today. As many of you may already know, the TV landscape is continually evolving and changing. And one of the things that we are doing here at Crackle is marrying the advertised capabilities of the TV network with the digital space. So we're focusing on quality content and over-the-top experience on all platforms. And as I continue, feel free to ask questions throughout the presentation. I definitely want this to be as interactive as possible. One great thing about Crackle is that we are the studio and the network, so we sit here at the Sony lot. So we work with the same people who have developed Breaking Bad over at Sony Pictures Television. We also work with Sony Music. So let's say you want to throw in some talent from the Sony Music side into one of your ads, definitely something we could talk further about. We also work with Sony Pictures Entertainment, so the people who are doing Spectre. So a lot of really great talented people that we work with at Sony, and we definitely want to continue the synergies and just continue to make a really amazing product. As many of you may already know, audiences are beginning to migrate to digital services. So one thing that the TV world is doing is they're announcing streaming plans. One con to that is that a lot of the streaming plans are currently not ad supported. One thing here at Crackle is we promise to always be free and always ad supported. So we are definitely solving kind of the need for ads in a world where everyone kind of wants free content. To talk more about the stat behind me, 40% of homes have a streaming subscription service, and currently 13% have two. So definitely a really great stat to keep in mind as you're continuing to buy the ads. Another thing that we learned coming out of our new living room study that we conducted this year is that 2 and 3 cord cutters are replacing TV with connected TV streaming. So connected TV has kind of become the preferred replacement platform for those that are cutting the cord. Can I get a show of hands? How many people in the room have already cut the cord? I know I myself have. Awesome. So I see the vast majority of you have cut the cord. Another great thing to keep in mind is you continue to buy ads. Diving deeper into what Crackle has to offer, we have some amazing stats on Crackle. One of them is that we have 27 million monthly user uniques. We also have 174 million monthly streams and a 95% ad completion rate. And many of you may be thinking, wow, that's super, super high. And one reason for why our ad completion rate is super high, aside from our ads just being amazing, is that our ads are not skippable. So what that means is that a user cannot skip an ad while they're watching the content. Another great information piece from Crackle is that we have up to 327 minutes per visitor. So a lot of people that are binge watching, a lot of people that are really getting into content and staying on the platform for a long time. This is a slide that demonstrates some amazing campaigns that we've run recently. As you can see, the completion rate is over 95% and the viewability is at 100%. One thing to keep in mind is that we recently partnered with Moat for viewability. It's definitely becoming a really, really key thing in the marketplace. And another thing to note about viewability is that ads that are always on CTV and mobile will always be 100% viewable. So it's when you get into desktop, people will minimize the screen and they may not see like the banner at the very bottom. So that's when you get into the lower viewability, but people are still seeing the ad that's within the window of the content. Another thing that I do want to point out on this slide is the 216% brand lift for Miller Coors. So that's a really, really great stat. Definitely we worked with them really hard to accelerate everything that they wanted for the campaign, and it was super successful. This year we also did a Make It study and did some internal research to discover what our audience was composed of. And what we found was a little over half were male, and the average age was 18 to 49, so the same target that a lot of companies are currently looking for. We define the audience as the recharger, and what that means, it's a multicultural, young, social audience, and it's educated adults that are at the beginning of their career. So definitely the people who have disposable income. So what that means for you guys is that people will watch your ad and then they'll be able to buy the product or service because they have that disposable income to purchase the ad. We also, even though we do skew slightly more on the male side, we have various different ways to target females. So if that's something you are interested in, just let us know. We can definitely work with you on targeting females. Jumping into our programming. So a quick history on Crackle. We started off as Grouper. And when we first were Grouper, we were kind of curating content. So we are continuing to maintain how we had started. But what that means is that we have long-form premium content from NBC, Universal, Disney, Lionsgate, and over 65% of our content is currently licensed outside of the studio. So in addition to us generating our own originals, we have all the additional great content from the other studios. We have over 1,600 hours a month, and we refresh our content every month. So everyone definitely has an editorial voice in helping us select our content, and we really like to provide the consumer with a really great experience. So this year, can I get a quick show of hands? How many people are familiar with the new front versus the upfront? Okay, so I see a vast majority of you. For those that aren't familiar with the difference, the new front is majority digital, and then the upfront is majority television. So what we did this year was we pulled out of the new front and went into the upfront. We wanted people to consider ourselves more as a TV space, a digital TV space, and we definitely wanted to show that we were in the game. So coming out of our upfront, we did a revamp, and it's called the Always On Experience. And the great thing about our revamp is when you first turn on Crackle, you have content that's already playing. And as the content continues to play, you have the ability to browse the content. So when you think about Netflix and you think, okay, so I log in and I'm looking for content. You don't find anything. You're sitting in a room by yourself and you're like, what am I doing? I want to watch some TV, but nothing just looks good. So for this, we definitely want the user to get on into the content, have something pull up that we think that they will like, and if they don't like it, they can select something different. We also will be day parting, so really great opportunity for us to kind of have channels in a sense, but you have so many channels to pick from, and a really great opportunity that we'll have coming up as we continue the revamp is the opportunity to sponsor a channel, and we can definitely dive into that more if you are interested. Jumping into our distribution. So we are currently everywhere on gaming consoles, streaming consoles, smart TV, mobile, online, and airlines. And I'm so excited to talk about the airlines because we have some really amazing family content on Delta. And we always have people that are flying on the airlines. And they're like, oh, I think I saw you on Delta. And we're like, yeah, you did. Another great thing that I want to point out is we recently took back the Xbox inventory. So we're currently the only people who can sell you Xbox inventory. So in addition to PlayStation, we can also give you Xbox. So if you wanted to be on Crackle but targeted to the gamers, we have that capability on next generation consoles and just PlayStation and Xbox in general. So to sum everything up so far, Crackle is a really great opportunity to give you a valuable audience that's going to be hard to reach. We're going to give you a groundbreaking TV-like experience and add solutions you won't be able to find anywhere else. It was definitely a busy year for us. Another thing that we did work on was our audience management platform. So we partnered with Nielsen, Comscore, and Adobe. And what this means for you guys is we now have metrics to provide you with how we can reach your target audience and if they respond to the call to action. So let's say you're running a Petco commercial and you're looking for the male dog owner. So we can tell you, we can one, target the male pet owner, and then we can two, tell you how many people actually clicked on the call to action. So a really, really great stat to show how effective your ads are and how awesome the placement can be on Crackle, and how we can just make sure we're both hitting success with the ads. Diving into our DMP a little bit further, so we have the ad server, which is FreeWill, and then we have the first party data, which is going to be us registering our users. And what that means is that this year we're asking users when they go into Crackle to set up an account. So what that means is we're going to have information stored anonymously about who they are, what they're interested in. And the great thing about that is, one, we can target better, and then two, we can also give them content that is going to be more directed towards what they would want to watch. So a lot of really great opportunities there. And then we also will remain with the third-party targeting, which will be the demo and specific behaviors. Another thing we learned for our upfront this year was our incremental reach. So a lot of people are still buying TV campaigns, and this is a really, really great example of how if you are currently advertising on TV, how you're missing a large chunk of the audience if you're not advertising digital and with Crackle. So instead of spending all those additional dollars on frequency, go ahead and put your incremental dollars in Crackle, because you're going to be tapping into an audience that may have not seen your ad already. And it may be someone who has been searching for that product and didn't know it exists. So we definitely want to help you with your campaign goals, and this is a great way for you to have a well-rounded plan. Crackle Originals. So this is the fun part. This is kind of an overview of our originals. As you can see, we have a vast majority and a lot of variety in the originals, so I'm going to dive right on in. Another great opportunity we have across all of our originals is integration. So we can write you into the story. We can write you into the show. And this is an example of a storyboard that we did for Infinity for our new show, Art of More. So we have an actor getting in a car, driving in the car, stepping out of the car, and then walking into an auction house. It's a really, really great way to seamlessly involve a mainstream actor and a product, so people are seeing the product, they remember the product because they're so engaged with the show. We can also generate a storyline for you. So let's say we just did this with Super Mansion. We wrote in a beverage company, and the beverage company ends up saving the day because they help support the mansion. So a lot of really great opportunities there. It's really endless. If you have anything that you want us to work on, definitely give us a call, because we are always happy to hear creative ideas. Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. So this is one of our originals that was actually already nominated twice for an Emmy. A really, really great show. It's starring Jerry Seinfeld, and he kind of takes his kookiness and brings it out of the other comedians. We will have the show on until 2017, and currently Accra is the main sponsor. And Accra does a really good job of working with Jerry Seinfeld and kind of giving Jerry Seinfeld the creative control. And he kind of points it out, and he'll be like, "Oh, where's my product placement?" And then you'll see it in a field or somewhere strange. And it's just a really funny way where it's like, yes, we have product integration, and it makes the viewer kind of laugh at it too. Joe Dirt. So this is actually kind of a funny and a cool story. So David Spade, for the longest time, was coming to Sony and asking us, "Hey, I want to do Joe Dirt 2. Can you please help me fund the film and help me make it?" And people were like, "Joe Dirt 2? No one's gonna care." And then people did a lot of research, and they noticed that there was still a really, really large fan base for Joe Dirt. So we ended up making the film, and it's been a huge success. We had all the original cast aside from one of the actors in the original film, and it did so well that we're probably going to do a part 3. And one of the stats about how well it did that I would love to talk about is how within the first week we already hit 1 million views. So that's really exciting for us, and it was one of the first times some film that was originally released in a theatrical market was released digitally. And we just proved that it's a very successful model, and we continue to do it again. Art of More. So this is our first drama that's going to be an hour long. It has a really, really great cast: Dennis Quaid, Kate Bosworth, Christian Cluck. It's going to be releasing this August, and it has a $40 million budget. So definitely really, really big. To give you an overview of kind of what the show's about, it's kind of talking about the underbelly of the auction world. So kind of all the things that happen that aren't supposed to happen, all the ways that they make money that they probably shouldn't be making money, if they're stealing the products and then they're selling the products. So it's definitely really funny. It's going to be our new House of Cards, and we're really, really excited. Super Mansion. So this is one that I am super excited about because I'm a big Bryan Cranston fan. I miss him from Breaking Bad, and I'll be able to hear his voice again in Super Mansion. So for this, it's a claymation, and it's done by the creators of Robot Chicken, and it's following the League of Nations as they kind of try to save their mansion. And they're a kind of funny set of superheroes because they're not really conventional in the sense of how they're going to save the mansion or save the day. So we kind of get to laugh along with them as they try to save the world and come up with these very unconventional ways to try to fix things. Sports Jeopardy. So this is a really great example of us taking an already successful model from Jeopardy and putting a little spin on it for Sports Jeopardy. It's a show that is going to be coming back in fall of 2015, and it airs one episode per week. And the target audience for the show is actually a little bit older of a male. So if you're looking to target, let's say, the 40-year-old male, this is a really, really great way to consistently hit the male audience. Dead Rising. So this is based on Capcom's best-selling games franchise. And we actually already released the first, and we're coming out with the second. So we're currently gathering the cast for the feature film now. And it was something we worked on with Legendary Films, and we gave Xbox an exclusive window release. And it was us taking advantage of the zombie theme that's happening. As we know, it kind of started with, back in the day, with a lot of The Walking Dead and a lot of other shows. So we definitely wanted to tap into a theme that was currently being successful with our target audience. Chosen. So this is one of our more established originals. We're going to be on our fourth season. In most of the seasons, the star cast is Chad Michael Murray. He's the main character, and it's a suspense thriller. So it's kind of a kill or be killed show. So to explain that a little further, the main character will receive a box at their door, and inside the box it'll be a picture of someone they have to kill. So they then have to decide, okay, do I go kill this stranger who has done nothing wrong to me, or do I have one of my family members die? So it's definitely talking about the moral dilemma of what you need to do in order to survive, and if you actually do kill the stranger. Startup. So this is our newest original that's coming out, and it revolves around a ex-convict, whose father was in the mob, and it takes place in Miami, and it's kind of a bunch of mobsters that are kind of trying to be and get a part of the American dream, and they're going to do anything that they need to get their startup funded. And it's definitely going to be really, really gritty, really exciting. So we're definitely very excited to see what all takes place. A lot of opportunities to get integrated via media and integration. So if you are at all interested, definitely let me know. We could talk about it offline. So before I jump into PlayStation, I just want to give you kind of an overview. So combined with Crackle and PlayStation, you're going to hit a hard-to-reach audience. And it's also going to be an audience that's very highly engaged. With PlayStation and Crackle combined, you're going to reach over 80 million uniques, so super, super high reach. And you're going to also be multi-platform with premium entertainment, and it's just going to be a really great opportunity overall to get involved and have a successful campaign. Are there any questions? Awesome. Well, thank you everyone so much for having me out today. We definitely are very excited to partner with you on your campaigns, and we are always open to new ideas. So if you have this really great idea and you can't find someone to do your idea, we definitely want to hear it, because we're always looking for innovative ways to integrate ads seamlessly and to have just media placements in general. Thanks so much for having me in today, and I'll see you guys later.